Tower of God seems to be the apparent frontrunner of this anime season. Judging by the cover, I say this can become a pretty good show. I mean, it has 4 girls and just one dude, the perfect ratio for a shonen anime. Right from the start, I have to address the art style. It looks pretty unique. There are other similar shows, but I do appreciate a more artistic approach to the mainstream look of the last decade. The Tower of God is supposed to be this place where if you manage to climb to the last floor, you will receive any wish you desire. A pretty tempting offer, if I may say so myself. When I try their luck and risk their lives taking part in this challenge, the main character looks like the average, everyday shonen protagonist. Frail body, dark hair, and a rather insecure voice. So yeah, I can't say I find him that interesting. But these are just my first impressions, and my opinion of him can change if he proves to be a total badass later into the story. He does display an act of courage as he faces that weird creature head on, even manages to get out of there alive. Apparently, this weird boy has a friend called Rachel, who in typical anime fashion has vanished in the tower, and the main character is now determined to reunite with her. A very predictable premise. But as I said before, if he encounters a bunch of young ladies on his quest, this should become a pretty good story. We even get to meet one of the girls from the cover. She's tall, slender, and with a nice pair of boobs. Yeah, I'll stick around with this title for a while. It is very promising in certain aspects. Her name is Yuri, by the way, which makes it even more fun to speculate. Naturally, I'm not expecting any juicy fanservice to come out of this title, but hey, a guy like me can only dream. Just recently reviewed Tsugumomo, and I'm glad the series is getting a second season. This is one of the best ecchi series to this date. I just love the characters, the action, and above all, I was fascinated by the skillful incorporation of Japanese folklore into a cohesive and entertaining story. The show centers on Kazuya, the lucky protagonist of the story, and a guy that gets to enjoy sharing his bed with the beautiful Keiha. She's a Tsukumogami, which is basically an object receiving a soul after many years of existence.
Tsukumogami, when after many years, an object gains a soul.
She takes the form of a hot young lady with a determined attitude and an aggressive temper. The show is structured in an episodic manner, giving enough screen time to each and every character to shine. Tsukumomo has so many hot girls to present besides the beautiful Keiha. For example, Kasumi, the sister of the main character, is also willing to get a piece of her brother.
Have you finally realized how attractive I am? Do you want to marry me now? I knew this day would come. I just had to be fit.
She cooks and takes care of his every need. Too bad Kazuya is blind to her charms. There's also Chisato, his childhood friend and a strict class representative. She has had a crush on the main character for a few years now, and still cannot muster the courage to confess her feelings to him.
I could help catch you up on your studies. I mean, teaching others has always been something I found enjoyable, so...
She has no problems in beating him up though. You see, Kazuya is a slacker who does not take school that seriously, and Chisato often punishes him for his insubordination.
You are just the worst! Every time you're tardy, you insult this entire school!
Anyhow, there still are so many girls to mention, but I highly recommend you watch the first season and witness for yourself the harem heaven Kazuya gets to delight himself with every single day.
The heck was that for?
The 8th Sun anime is next. Not gonna lie, I only give this one a chance because of its appealing cover. Again, 4 girls surrounding one dude. It is the perfect recipe for a great show. Sadly, it is missing the harem ecchi tag, therefore my expectations are rather low for this title. On the side we're getting introduced to a world filled with magic and innocent looking girls, which has immediately awakened my interest. Unfortunately, this is yet again another one of those starting the life again in a better world kind of scenarios. It turns out our teenage protagonist is actually an older dude who struggles with his life. Now I do recognize the appeal of having the chance to start your life all over again in a world when you have a better chance of accomplishing something with your time. It's so overused lately that my interest for this anime dropped significantly once I saw the origin of our main character. Why can't we have teenagers teleport to another world anymore? I miss SAO, which is something I never thought I would say. Anyway, unfortunately for our main character, he gets to start life again as a young boy, which means he will need a lot of patience to grow back into an independent individual. At first he seemed happy that he was the least part of a wealthy family. What really came as a surprise was the fact that his father is actually broke, impoverished nobility, more or less. But really, you have a castle, servants, and a domain, and yet you can't have a proper soup for your children? That dude needs to get his priorities straight. I see where this is going though. The main character will learn magic and help his family prosper like never before. Also, the protagonist will eventually get a harem. I mean, those hot girls definitely have the hearts for him. Gleipnir? Now this is a weird one. Kinda reminds me of Darwin's game. With all this battle between random people who just so happen to possess a certain item. But above all, this is an ecchi. Finally. I need my fanservice, guys. This immediately makes the anime way more interesting, captivating, and complex. The main character seems to be an average teenage boy, who actually has a normal social life, and is doing rather well. Now how can this be? Where's the drama, or the reason for conflict? Well, fortunately the anime has the weirdest way of making his life a lot more difficult than he has expected. Apparently he can transform at will into a huge, fluffy monster. Wow, I really wasn't expecting such a turn of events. I watched a lot of weird stuff, but this kinda caught me off guard. Anyway, I'm blessed with the sight of some panties, as we get a glimpse into Kazuya's social life. He seems to have no issues in talking with the girls from his class, by the way. This is great. I really wasn't looking forward to yet another insecure protagonist. Alright, let's get back to his teddy bear form. Out of all the creatures he could have transformed in, it just had to be something extremely creepy and weird. A giant stuffed bear would be cute, if not for his devilish smile and inhuman strength. He says a god from a burning building. Instead of gratitude, the god in question is threatening him. All she had on him was his phone. The main character could have easily overpowered her and claimed back his property, leaving her no evidence of his master form. Oh well, I guess we need a tall, blonde chick to show him around. Can't argue with that, because this girl is hot. Alright guys, I'm only gonna briefly mention the last two titles on the list, and I'm starting with Food Wars, the fifth plate. First of all, the anime is very successful. I mean, we already have the fifth plate. There are two things I love in this life, food and fanservice. This anime has plenty of both. One day I will thoroughly watch all the seasons of Food Wars and give you my complete thoughts on the series. But as of now, I've only watched the first entry in the series, and I strongly approve of this concept. Having hot girls with delicious bodies get naked when they taste some sugar sounds like real life for me. Last one on the list is Tamayomi, the baseball girls. Well, I like girls, even though I don't like sports. I like seeing girls play, if you know what I mean. Yeah, this reminds me of Harukana Receive. which was pretty good. I mean, he had girls jump around in their swimsuits, which was nice to look at.